Do I think the women's division needs to change? That's a little debatable. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's more of a second guess, really, in anyone's favor. But it always comes down to it a lot. If it depends on how people feel about it. They care for it and all that bullshit. But it's an option. Um, I think the division that they built throughout the years now has been great. It's been a hell of an interesting way of doing things and really opening doors for other people in that company. And it's an option. It's options of success and negativity not. I mean, but on the real, it is WWE's been one of those companies that have been good and been bad. You got the good talent, you get the bad talent. You got people should be there, should not be. It's an open, like an open challenge, but more just like, all right, do you stay, do you go? You know? And I think there's a lot of really sick talent in that company, but I believe that changes of the essence, they've done that to an extent. It just depends how much change that affects that. You look at the roster, you look at the fan base, you look at what they think about it all in general. Was it a good move? Was it a bad move? Was it a good business move? Was it a bad business move? Was it a good decision? Was it a bad decision? And it's things like that that really question that company on the straight up level. WWE's been run since the early 1980s, whatever. Around that period of time, so that's been a good standpoint for them. It's just you do question a few things, but you leave it out. You don't want to dig too deep, but again, you have to dig a little deep to find the answers. Do I think that is it Sasha's time to move on? Is it time for Reigns to be defeated? Is it time for Sheamus to become the next a champion of some sort? I say yes, and I'd say yes to two. I'd say yes to two of those questions. Sasha's career she's done great. She's done everything she can. It's time for I would say it's time for her to move on, but I don't think she will. In a sense, she'll do what she wants in her success in her career. I mean, people may think differently, but I've seen enough of that where I know she can do better elsewhere. If she had the option, if she wanted to, she could. With Reigns and his title defense, so I think he can be defeated. Yes. By who? I'm sticking with Lesnar. Or if they bring back the Fiend or Orton. Well, I don't want Riddle for that matter. I mean, I'll give anybody that credit for that. I mean, one of those couple options. With that, there is a chance that might happen eventually. Who knows when? But it will be a possibility it could happen. That'll be in general now. It's more of a what if question. It's more of, do you think WWE still has enough to do successful things going down the road? I say yes, and I somewhat say no. It's more of it's not a trick question. It's just a question of what ifs, and I think there's a lot of that going around. Maybe these days a little, because you look at what they've worked with and how they work things around things. It's become a bit of an option that some may stay, some may go. It's a big, question of doubt, but a question of faith that they still have enough to do great things. Pay-per-view wise, I'm kind of on the defense of that, because they could step it up. I mean, they could do better with certain things and certain ways of doing things. I think the matches could be a little more exciting than what throughout the years they were kind of good. Then some of it got kind of boring and they just went to shit. I mean, last two Survivor Series I've seen, badass. The other ones were just crappy. I mean, you look at the most popular ones would be the Rumble and Mania. Rumble's like getting like qualifying for the Super Bowl. To get into it, you gotta win it all. And between that, Mania and Chamber, you got some pretty decent matches. I mean, some pretty high stakes stuff, but you want to focus on the good stuff. Mania has always been the big goal for everybody. The main event. Mania is Rumble's the one you qualify for to get into it and then win and then get the main event. Chamber's the one to just get a feel for and fight it out, and we'll go from there. The matches throughout the years of any kind of match has been entertaining. Some good, some bad. But I look at the matches these days, and I'm not seeing a lot of greatness out of anything. Some good, some not. It's not questionable, but it's a little debatable. The fan base really has been strong for years. Always has been. I don't think they ever really go away really much. People won't really get tired of it. Do you think people get tired of WWE? I'd say yes and no. I've literally started watching it for years. I really haven't been focused on it too much. I mean, I see hearing the clips and they say hearsay, she say thing. So you got that going, but there comes a point where you need a fresh start. WWE's been like I said, around for a long period of time. They've been great. They do what they gotta do. They've been great, successfully great at what they do. I've kind of got rid of all that. You know, still respect it in a lot of ways. You have to if you want to. I've kind of gone with AEW these days because that's the kick-ass show that I like. One of the little belts I got, figures I collect. But yeah, I think between WWE and NXT and all that, I've seen it all that I need to see out of that. I look at AEW now as a really kick-ass fucking brand that's really branched out successfully with talent, and they've done really good things, and I think it's become such a phenomenon that people are gonna love it, and they have. If you haven't checked any of that stuff out, I recommend whatever you want to watch. Recommend a little bit of both. But yeah, there is time for change, and I think that I found that in AEW. I mean, AEW's been that brand that's really shed its own light on some good things, and WWE's done enough that they've succeeded in what they need to do. But other than that, it's the fight feel of it's kind of gone downhill. I think fans have kind of realized that in sense of what they think of it just in general. I mean, you've seen enough Goldbergs, you've seen plenty of Lesnar, you've seen Reigns, you've seen everybody you need to see. It's not like it's never going to change. And I think that's what people kind of worry about if that happens or if not. I mean, you can always find things to replace those things, but it'll always be what it is. And I think kind of on anyone's perspective, they kind of do miss some of it at times. It's just you gotta go along with it. You have to go along with the change. You have to go along with the process. There's a lot of what ifs and a lot of doubts I think I had with that company. Just watching their product in general. I mean, you love it, you hate it, you know what it is. It's just the basic stuff. What the gimmicks are just. They've always been kind of stupid but funny. It's always been the dumb shit, the good shit. It's always been mixed reactions with that. Promo wise, they've done in that business has been pretty good. Talk what you gotta do, excellent. But they really step it up. They really go for the gold, and they've done great with that. So it's just a different. To me, it's a different take. It's a change of its own. So I go with that. So I'll leave it at that. And one thing, this is a different topic. If anybody has any suggestions of where I can find some good tattoo places in Tennessee, leave a comment down below. I know this is out of the blue. I'm trying to find places that can do some tattoos. I'm specifically looking for like superhero symbols and stuff like that, like Marvel stuff, whatever. If anybody has any suggestions, please leave a comment down below in the video. Other than that, peace.